You know, when you have lived a while, raised a family, balanced a budget, fixed what was broken, you start to notice a few things. One of them is this: not everything that looks like a good deal truly is. Now, I'm not here to pick on any store. I shop at Walmart just like most folks do. It is convenient, the prices are often good, and they have just about everything you might need in one place. But over time, I have learned the hard way that some of those low prices come with hidden costs. I am talking about the kind of purchases that seem fine at first, until they fall apart, stop working, or start causing more trouble than they are worth. And as someone who has seen his fair share of buyer's remorse, I figured it was time to pass along what I have learned, especially for those of us who are a little older and a little wiser now. This is not about being picky. It is about protecting your peace of mind, your time, and yes, your money. Because when you are over 60, the last thing you need is to spend energy fixing problems that should not have happened in the first place. So today, I want to share with you 10 things I personally will never buy from Walmart again. Some of them might surprise you. Some of them you might have in your home right now. But each one taught me a lesson I will not forget. And if even just one of these helps you avoid the kind of hassle I went through, then this conversation is worth it. Let's begin. 1. Cheap shower heads. That promise comfort, but bring nothing but headaches. I remember the first time I picked up one of those budget shower heads at Walmart. It looked shiny. The packaging made big promises, something about high water pressure and easy installation. And the price was hard to ignore. I thought, well, why not? A quick fix for the guest bathroom, or maybe even our own without spending too much. It seemed like a smart, simple purchase. But I will tell you something that I have come to understand the hard way. That kind of shortcut usually comes back around to bite you, especially with things you use every single day. Within a week, that shower head started leaking from the base, not just a drip here and there, but a full-on slow trickle that left water puddling on the bathroom floor. The kind of thing that turns your quiet morning into a small cleanup operation. Then came the drop in water pressure. What used to be a strong, steady stream started to feel like someone whispering water at me through a straw. And the plastic? It did not take long before the material felt soft and warped from the heat. I ended up replacing that shower head within a month, and I was not happy about spending more time and money fixing something I had just bought. What Walmart employees told me later only confirmed what I experienced. Those cheaper models often have plastic parts that cannot handle hot water over time, weak seals that give out early, and design flaws that make them more of a headache than a bargain. So now I do not go near them. Instead, I look for metal models from brands I trust, like Delta or Mohan. They cost more upfront, yes, but they last. They feel solid in your hand, and best of all, they work every single morning without drama. If you are like me, you do not need luxury. You just want things to work the way they should. A good shower, especially as we get older, sets the tone for the whole day. It is not just about getting clean. It is about starting your day with ease, with comfort, with peace. Do not let a $15 mistake rob you of that. 2. Towels that start out soft and end up like sandpaper. Now let me tell you about the towels. My wife picked them out one Sunday afternoon while we were running errands. We touched them in the store and thought, well, these feel pretty soft. They were thick, fluffy, came in nice colors, and they were on sale. We brought home a full set: bath towels, hand towels, even a couple of washcloths. The first week, no complaints, but after that first trip through the laundry, the story changed, and not for the better. Suddenly the towels felt thinner, rougher. You would dry your face, and it felt more like dragging a rug across your cheeks than a soft cotton towel. After 3 or 4 washes, it was clear we had made a mistake. The towels had started shedding so badly that we had lint in the dryer filter on our clothes, even in our hair. It was everywhere. I remember my wife holding up one of the hand towels and saying, "Did I buy this from a gas station or from a store?" We laughed, but the frustration was real. Towels are something you use every single day. When they stop doing their job, absorbing water, feeling pleasant against your skin, they turn into one more little nuisance in your daily routine. And if you are someone with sensitive skin, or just older, and more aware of what comfort means, then this really matters. Walmart employees later told us, "These store-brand towels are often returned. They look and feel good on the shelf, but the quality fades fast. The fibers break down in the wash. The softness is just surface level, and before long, they are scratchy, stiff, and disappointing. We spend just a bit more to get better quality." Turkish cotton is our go-to. It stays soft, holds up in the laundry, and feels good for years, not just a few days. You do not need a fancy label, just a towel that does what it is supposed to do, and does it well. Because at our age, comfort is not an extra. It is part of living well. And there is no reason to settle for something that feels nice for 5 minutes in the store and miserable for the next 5 months at home. 3. Plastic storage bins that crack, collapse, and waste your time. Storage bins seem simple, right? Just a container with a lid. But trust me, I have learned that not all plastic bins are created equal, especially the ones you find stacked high at Walmart for a few dollars apiece. You see them and think, perfect for organizing the garage, or great for holiday decorations. That is what I thought too. I bought a half dozen one winter, planning to finally tackle the mess in the basement. I filled the first bin with books, not even heavy ones, just paperbacks and old magazines. I picked it up to carry it across the room, and right there in my hands, the bottom cracked open. Books everywhere. Lid popped off, handles snapped. I stood there staring at it thinking, what on earth did I just buy? I went back to the store with the busted bin and asked about returns. The employee just nodded and said, "Yeah, we see a lot of these come back." Turns out, those clear plastic bins are made with very thin plastic, brittle, flimsy, and definitely not made for any real use. They might hold up empty, or if you are storing pillows, but for anything more than that, they are just not worth it. Some bins do not stack well either. You try to put one on top of another, and the bottom one bends, the lid warps, and your neat little tower of storage starts looking like a leaning tower of clutter. That is not organization. That is frustration in plastic form. So now I only buy bins from brands like Sterilite or Rubbermaid. They are sturdier, made to hold real weight, and the lids actually fit tight. You can stack them, move them, and not worry about the bottom falling out on you. Organization should make life easier, not harder. And when your storage bins cannot store anything properly, you are not saving money. You are wasting it for furniture that looks nice until you actually use it. There was a time when we needed a small bookshelf for the back bedroom, nothing fancy. Just something to hold a few old photo albums, a couple of cookbooks, maybe some keepsakes. We were walking through Walmart, saw a shelf on sale under their Mainstays brand, and it seemed perfect. The picture on the box looked good, and the price was lower than anything else we had seen. So we brought it home. That was the easy part. Putting it together, though, that was something else. The instructions were confusing. The holes did not line up just right, and I ended up using more effort than I expected just trying to screw the panels in. Once it was standing, it looked fine, but then we added a few books. That is when it started to wobble, and I do not mean a slight wiggle. I mean a real lean, like it was trying to tip forward. The material felt hollow. The screws kept loosening after just a few weeks. One time I bumped it lightly with the vacuum, and a corner cracked right off. That is when I realized this shelf, and most of the budget furniture from that line, is not built to last. It is designed to sit in a box and look good just long enough to sell. Real life? That is where it falls apart. Walmart employees will tell you the same thing. They get complaints about nightstands that chip, desks that shake when you type, and shelves that barely make it past the return window. Especially for those of us in our later years, the last thing we need is unstable furniture that breaks with basic use. Now we do things differently. If we need furniture, even something small, we look for pieces with metal frames or solid wood parts. Sometimes you can find better options online through Walmart or at local stores that offer senior discounts. It may cost a little more, but it feels good to know that what you buy will actually last and not become tomorrow's trash. At this stage in life, we do not want to buy things twice. We want to buy it once, have it work well, and never think about it again. That is not luxury. That is peace of mind. 5. Air mattresses that go flat before the night is over. There is nothing quite like having your grandchildren come visit, especially for a sleepover. One year around the holidays, we picked up an air mattress from Walmart. It looked like a good deal. Said it was queen size, had a built-in pump, and was priced just right. We thought, perfect for the guest room when the kids are here. We set it up with fresh sheets, fluffed a couple of pillows, and called it done. Well, sometime around 3 in the morning, we heard a soft thud from the other room. Our grandson had sunk right to the floor. The air mattress had deflated. Not a little, either. It had gone from firm and full to pancake flat in just a few hours. He ended up sleeping on a pile of blankets, and we ended up feeling pretty terrible. We tried again the next night with the patch kit that came with the mattress. It held for a bit, but by morning, it had lost air again. Turns out, these lower-cost models have weak seams and thin plastic that simply cannot handle much movement. One small shift in the night, and you are dealing with leaks. When I returned it, the Walmart employee told me they see air mattresses come back all the time. People buy them for guests, for travel, for emergencies, and they do not even last the weekend. And let me tell you, there are few things more frustrating than thinking you are ready for company, only to end up apologizing for a night on the floor. After that, we decided to invest in a better one. We picked up a model from a brand called Sound Asleep. It cost more, yes, but we have used it many times now. No leaks, no sagging, no complaints from the grandkids or anyone else. It holds up, inflates quickly, and lets us be good hosts without worrying. When you are hosting family, you want things to be simple and warm. No surprises, no midnight mattress emergencies. Sometimes paying a little more is not about getting something fancier. It is about getting something that simply works. 6. Thin shower curtain liners that turn gross in days. There are certain things in the house you do not think much about until they stop doing their job. For me, one of those things was the shower curtain liner. We picked up a new one at Walmart a few months back. It looked fine, clear, light, and cost just a few dollars. I figured, why spend more when it is just there to keep water from splashing out? Well, about 4 days later, I found out why. That liner clung to my legs while I was trying to shower, like it was alive and trying to wrap around me. It made the whole experience uncomfortable, but worse than that, by the end of the week, there were already signs of mildew down by the bottom edge. I kept the bathroom fan on after every shower, opened the window, did all the usual things to keep moisture down, but it did not matter. The material was too thin and did not dry well. Before long, the smell started to change. A musty odor crept into the bathroom, and the bottom of the liner was stained and sticky, no matter how much we wiped it down. My wife said, "I'm not touching that again, just toss it." And that is what I did. Since then, I have learned that not all shower curtain liners are made the same. The ultra-cheap ones tear easily, hold moisture, and turn into a mold magnet within days. They are not just annoying, they are unsanitary. I talked to a Walmart employee about it once, and she nodded. We see those returned or replaced, more than any other bathroom item, she told me. Now, we only buy mildew-resistant liners, ones with weighted bottoms and better ventilation. They cost a few dollars more, but they last longer, stay cleaner, and most importantly, they make the shower feel calm and comfortable again. As we get older, hygiene and comfort matter more than ever. And I do not know about you, but I want my bathroom to be a place of peace, not a battleground with a moldy plastic curtain. 7. Off-brand light bulbs that burn out before you can enjoy them. We all need light, whether it is in the kitchen while making coffee, in the hallway at night, or over the sink while brushing your teeth. Light makes us feel safe, comfortable, and at home. That is why, for years, I picked up light bulbs without giving them much thought. They are just bulbs, right? One brand is the same as another. Or so I thought. A while back, we ran out of bulbs, and I picked up a few packs of the store brand bulbs from Walmart. They were cheaper than the name brands, and the packaging promised long life. 10 years, energy saving, bright white light. It sounded great. I replaced the hallway lights and two in the bathroom. All was well for about 10 days. Then one started flickering. At first, I thought it was the wiring, but no. When I swapped it out for a better bulb, the problem stopped. A few days later, another bulb simply stopped working altogether. After just 2 weeks of use, I had already thrown out 3 of them. Here is the thing. I do not enjoy climbing ladders anymore. Reaching up to swap out a bulb might seem simple, but when your knees are not what they used to be, even small chores come with big risks. I do not want to get on a step stool every 2 weeks just to fix a bulb that was supposed to last 10 years. So I went back to the basics. Brands I trust, like General Electric and Philips. Yes, they cost more up front, but they last longer. They give steady, bright light. No flickering, no odd humming sounds, and no surprise blackouts in the middle of the night. Walmart employees later told me those store-brand bulbs get returned or complained about all the time. They are bright at first, one said, but they die fast and people get frustrated. I am not surprised because when something as simple as a light bulb fails, it disrupts more than just your lighting. It disrupts your rhythm, your peace, your sense of home. So now I treat light bulbs like I treat shoes. I would rather buy 1 pair that lasts than 5 that fall apart. 8 small kitchen appliances that quit after a few uses. One of the little joys in our house is the morning routine. I make the coffee, toast the bread, maybe blend a smoothie if I am feeling fancy. Over time, we have collected our share of kitchen gadgets. Some good, some not so good. And unfortunately, some of the worst came from well-meaning purchases at Walmart. Take the toaster, for example. It was a sleek-looking little thing, cost under $20. The box said even browning and extra-wide slots. But the truth? One side of the bread burned, the other side stayed cold. The lever stuck. And one morning, the thing just stopped working. No sound, no heat, just dead. I had barely used it a dozen times. Then there was the mini blender we bought. It promised smoothies in seconds, and maybe it did that, once or twice. After that, the motor began to smell like it was burning. The blades jammed, and eventually, the cup would not lock in place no matter how hard I turned it. These are not just mild inconveniences. When something stops working in the morning, when you are hungry, tired, or on medication that needs to be taken with food, it becomes a real problem. I have learned my lesson. Do not trust the no-name appliances, especially the ones stacked on the lower shelves with big rollback stickers on them. Walmart employees told me these gadgets are returned more than almost any other product in the home section. Customers bring them back after 1 week, the clerk said, sometimes even the same day. Now, we stick with trusted brands like Hamilton Beach, Cuisinart, or Ninja. These are not fancy machines, but they are built to last, and they do what they are supposed to do, day after day. When it comes to the kitchen, reliability is everything. You do not need bells and whistles. You need something that works. Every time. 9. Laundry baskets that break before the first load is done. Sometimes it is the simplest things that cause the most annoyance. You would think a laundry basket would be the easiest thing in the world to get right. It is just a plastic tub with handles. What could go wrong? Well, I found out one Saturday morning. We had picked up 2 new laundry baskets from Walmart, a basic design made of lightweight plastic, low price. I loaded one with a modest batch of laundry, mostly towels, and a couple of pairs of jeans. As I lifted it, one of the handles cracked. Not completely off, just enough that it started to dig into my hand and throw the balance off. A few more steps, and the other handle popped clean out. Clothes everywhere, plastic pieces on the floor. And me, standing there trying not to say a few words I should not say on a weekend. I brought the basket back to the store and asked the young man at the return counter if this was normal. He just smiled and said, "Honestly, we see a lot of these come back." I am not surprised. The plastic was thin, the edges were sharp, and the frame had no give. They are not made for stairs or even a carpeted hallway. And for older folks like us, carrying laundry is already a task that takes some planning. If the basket breaks mid-walk, that is more than just a nuisance. It is a safety issue. We ended up buying fabric-lined hampers with reinforced handles. They have soft grips, flexible frames, and they can handle everything from towels to winter bedding without any strain. I do not have to worry about them cracking in my hands or falling apart halfway to the washer. Laundry is never fun, but it should not feel like a construction project either. A strong, dependable hamper makes it a little easier. And that is all we are really looking for these days. 10 extended warranties that sound reassuring but rarely deliver. It happens every time you check out at Walmart. You are standing at the register. They scan your item, maybe a new blender, a small space heater, or a set of speakers. And then the question comes, would you like to add a protection plan today? Just a few extra dollars. It sounds like a good idea. Protection, peace of mind, especially for folks like us who have seen how quickly things can go wrong. We are used to thinking ahead, planning for the just in case. So, more than once, I said yes. I thought I was being responsible. But then, the day came when something actually broke. I tried to use the warranty for the small kitchen appliance I had purchased. And let me tell you, it was one of the most frustrating customer service experiences I have ever had. First, I could not find the paperwork. Then I learned the warranty was not even handled by Walmart, but by a third-party company. That meant I had to call a different number, talk to people who barely understood the issue, and wait on hold while they tried to look into it. They asked for proof of purchase, serial numbers, photos, and in the end, told me the issue was not covered because it was considered wear and tear. I asked what the warranty did cover. They gave me a long, confusing list, full of exceptions. That was the moment I realized I had paid for a piece of paper. Not for protection, not for real support, just paperwork. And I am not the only one. I spoke with a Walmart employee who said they hear the same thing over and over again. People buy the plans, then get nothing out of them. Most folks do not even try to use it, she said, because the process is too much trouble. Now, I only consider a warranty if I am buying something big, like a television or a refrigerator, something expensive, where the cost of repair would be high. But for small home goods, I skip the warranty, and instead, I put that money toward buying a better quality product from the start. At our age, time matters. Energy matters. We should not have to chase down a company or argue over the fine print just to get what we paid for. A product should either work well or be replaced easily. If a company cannot stand behind what they sell without making you jump through hoops, it is not worth your trust or your money. What we deserve is not fancy. It is simply honest, lasting quality. If you are still with me now, I just want to say thank you, not because you watched the video, but because you cared enough to want better for yourself, your home, and your peace of mind. That says something. You and I, we have lived long enough to know that it is not about chasing the newest thing or getting the lowest price at any cost. It is about choosing things that bring comfort, things that last, things that do their job quietly, without making us regret ever bringing them home. Walmart is not a bad place. Like any store, it has its strengths. But there are also traps, products that look good on the shelf, but fall short in real life. And at this stage, we do not have time for items that break, sag, leak, or disappoint. We deserve better, not fancier, not more expensive, just better. So if anything I said today reminded you of your own experience, maybe something you bought that did not live up to its promise, I would love to hear about it. Leave a comment, share your story. You never know who else it might help. And if this talk saved you from even one wasted purchase, then I am glad we had this time together. That is why I do this. Not to complain, but to help folks like you and me spend our money wisely and live with a little more ease because of it. Until next time, take care of yourself. You have earned that peace and more.